Okay, so grid setup, level setup. I'm going to place a few columns for you here now, just to again to get you started. So I'm going to start off in this corner here. So placing columns, steel columns, is the first one is tricky. The rest are easy after that. Okay, so I'm into my structure tab here now, and I'm into column. Okay. So in the project, there's a 310 by UB40, something like that. I'm going to do a 203 by 203 because that's the size that looks to me, and it's kind of a standard one that they use in construction. So I'll go into column, and I'll go into making sure that it's a vertical column. I'll load a family here. Go into the UK library, and I'm coming all the way down to structural columns, steel, British Standard, universal columns, and I'll go open, and then I'll choose the 203 by 60. All right, now, so in consultation with your structural engineer and peers and wherever else, you might choose a different size, and that's fine. You don't have to take mine as verbatim, but that's the one I'm just going to use for the moment. All right. Now, so I'm going to position that. So this is currently at the end of my cursor, and you can see that the cursor is in the center of the beam. So I'm just going to, this is why I wanted to get the grids here, because columns love grids. They will snap on into the intersection of grids really well. So I'll position that. Now, I'll get this little warning to say that you can't see it, and that's not a problem. I'm going to go into my 3D here now and zoom to fit. Where am I? Okay. Oh, now if you get this situation occurring where there's a line, you go, "Oh, can't find my column. Where the hell is it?" Come straight away down to here into the detail level and hit fine. Now you can see it. Okay. Now that's, oh my god, it's so annoying, that one. Revit seems to default to this one all the time, and that's what you get is the line, and you're wondering where the hell is your column. So that's the reason why you're going to find. So let's pick that now. Let's see what the properties are. It's going from the top of found, which is great, up to there, but I want to bring it up to the top beam size there. All right, and so I'll go back to my ground level here. Now, if you notice in the elevation, so what we've got here is we've got columns going up to here, to here. Now, I think these ones go right up to the top. So that's one goes that height. Well, actually, if you're putting on that extension, it'll probably go up to here as well. So we might bring all of those ones up to the truss height. Then we got a couple of lower ones there as well. So I'm going to position, there's not too many of these. I'm going to just position them first, and then I'm going to change the actual height of the column afterwards. All right. So I'm going to pick that, and we're going to put it up to, if you remember, we created the top of truss. All right. Now, not brilliant. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a pad underneath this. And if you go into, again, your structural, it's isolated foundation. That's what you okay, so we need to load one in here. And so I need to go to my UK library, to my structural foundations. Here they are. And what I want is pile cap or pad foundation. See that one? Rectangular. That's just perfect. We'll use that one. And I'm going to do a 1500 by 1500 by 750. That'll do me for the moment. Actually, does it need to be that big? Doesn't. I'll do a meter by 500. Okay. Now, nice thing about the pads is that they're hosted by the columns. So if I come in here and I just position it, I just select that column, go into the 3D, and you can see it's after positioning for me. All right. Now, so what you want to do is select both of those, go back to the ground, and you're going to do copy multiple. And again, making sure that you are right in on the center point of the grids. Okay. Center point of the grids. That's the important one there. And then we can run along here now and put the we can twist these around if necessary, if that has to be done. I'm not too overly worried about that at the moment, so I'll pick that one. Again, you can see I'm kind of running through here. And this is the beauty of having the grids in place, is that allows me to snap in and they are all directly lined up. I'm going to come down here now and do that one. Again, it's coming with the pad attached to it. Okay, don't worry about its orientation. We'll change that. Okay, and then this one. And this one. And this one. We've got one here as well. Yeah, and we've got one there. And we've got one there. And one there. There. Right, let's take a look at that in 3D. Now you can see that we've got most of our columns in position there. That's looking good. With the pads underneath as well. Now you probably, if you remember, so these ones, this one did not go up to the truss level. I think it just went up to the top of beam. Okay, so we'll pick a few of these. I think it's these ones as well, isn't it? And that one and that one. I'm going to move them to top of beam. Just check that on the 3D. Yeah, so we got the smaller ones there, and we will do this one as well. Oh, there's a double one in there, I think. That was the problem there. Okay. Now, so that's kind of got your almost got your column set up. So what we do now is we'll run some beams across there, but I want to go to the elevation and see what's happening here. So the beam seems to be running laterally across here. Okay, and now again, placing in a beam, something similar. We're going to go to the top of beam level, and we're going to place them from here. All right. So again, it's into beam, and I'm going to use the 203s again. So I'm going to load a family, and I'm going to go into the structural framing for my beams and steel and British Standard and Universal Beam. Okay, and I want my 203 by 60, I think is what I had. So I'll take the closest that I had. Okay, it's not going to do that for me, is it? Okay, I'm going to take that one. Right, now I might change these at some point along the way. Okay, now, so the beam is at the end of my cursor, and again, we're going to go from grid line, okay, to grid line, and then we'll come backwards this way, grid line to grid line. Okay. Probably should have just double checked that first one to make sure we're at the right level here. And then I wouldn't be surprised, but I'll double check it if they go across from here to there as well. And don't be worried the fact that there's little bits of gaps there and things like that. We'll sort those out later. Just get the main structure in now. So let's go into the 3D and have a look at that. Yeah, so I've got my beam systems going in at the correct levels there as well. So repeat that process back into the elevation. So that's all of these ones. Yeah, I don't see, there doesn't seem to be cross beams there now. Maybe, oh, well, here, look, there is. You can see that there is cross beams going in there. So the next, so once you get all of those ones in, right, we do have beams that'll go up here, and then we've got the truss, and we leave that for another video as well.